Avoid moving to the high desert of California if you can't handle these 10 facts that we're going to be talking about in this video. So don't forget to stay all the way until the last one. Number 10 is going to be the most important one. Or fact number 1 is if you don't like to commute. A lot of people that move up to the high desert still need to commute, go down the hill to go to their job or their work or whatever the case is. So if you don't like commuting, then maybe the high desert is not the place for you, because you're going to have to commute to go either down to your job or to your work, or for whatever the case is. Like to go to Knott's Berry Farm, it's an hour and a half just to get to Knott's Berry Farm. To go to the beach, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours if if the traffic is light. Okay, if you want to go to LA, that's another 2 hours. Okay, so you need to be okay with commuting or having longer drives if you want to move up to the high desert. Okay, so number 1 is the commute. So fact number 2 is that the salaries up here in the high desert are a lot less than going down to commute either to LA or going down to the Inland Empire, or just commuting out to work. A lot of people that I've talked to, they have to go down the hill to Rancho or England or to Riverside for those better paying jobs. So the salary is not that much up here in the high desert. Okay, that's not for everybody. Of course, there's still good paying jobs, but there's not a lot of them, so a lot of people still have to commute down the hill to get those higher paying jobs. Okay, so if that's something that's important to you, if you're gonna be wanting to do something like that where you want a higher paying job, you have to understand. That's why I did the cost of living video in the high desert, because the cost of living is a lot less than living in Inland Empire, Riverside, or LA. Of course, the jobs are not going to be paying you as much. Okay, so that's fact number 2, is the salary that you get paid up here in the high desert is a lot less than you would get paid. So fact number 3 is that there's a lot of 18-wheelers out here. There's a lot of big trucks. Okay, in where I live, I'm just talking about everything that I've experienced. Okay, where I've lived, there is a neighbor two houses down that has an 18-wheeler, or a big truck, and it doesn't fit in their driveway. So the truck always has to be parked across the street. And it's not that it bothers me, but there's just a lot of big trucks in the community sometimes. And it's a little hard to get through the trucks, especially when you have traffic coming from one side to another. It's just something for you to keep an eye out. So if you're looking for a home or in an area, or you're moving into a certain area and you see those big trucks, if it doesn't bother you, that's fine. It doesn't bother me, but that's just something for you to keep in mind. It's just make sure you're looking out for the big 18-wheelers, because they do park in the street sometimes. I know in Hesperia or Victorville, I think they get charged a certain amount for having their truck parked at certain places. Okay, so, and I know that we can't stop the big trucks from being here. Of course, that's not what I want to say. I'm just saying, just keep an eye out for that. If that's something that you're not okay with, there is a lot of big trucks just in the areas. Okay, so I thought that was important. It's important to me, so I just figured you should know. So fact number 4, if you suffer from allergies, trust me, you do not want to. You want to avoid the high desert. It's windy, there's dust storms. You just want to avoid the high desert if you suffer from allergies. I never suffered from allergies And ever since I moved up to the high desert, my eyes are always watering. I always have allergies. I'm always sneezing, okay? And my eyes are always getting really red also. So because it get really dry, just really dry. Um, so if that is something that you don't think you can handle, trust me, allergies just get, I don't know, they just get worse up here in the high desert. It's probably because it's so dry here. Well, I'm pretty sure it's because it's so dry here and it's just so cold. So it just makes allergies so much worse. I always have to take a Claritin. If I have an appointment with somebody, I always try to take Claritin. Just because I don't want to be having like a stuffy nose or my eyes being red or crying. So that's number four, okay? If you suffer from allergies, trust me, you do not want to, you want to avoid the high desert. We've honestly had so many people reach out and call us or contact us about relocating here to the high desert that we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move and you're thinking about moving to maybe Apple Valley, Victorville, California, Hesperia, Adelanto, Barstow, we're definitely here to answer all your calls. Don't Go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text, shoot us an email, and we'll absolutely love answering all of your questions and seeing how we can help you move up and relocate to the high desert. Fact number five, you would want to avoid the high desert if you like to have fine dining. Okay, there's really not much fine dining. There's fast food restaurants. There's a lot of fast food restaurants. There is, like I mentioned last time, there's Texas Roadhouse, there's Olive Garden. But if you're looking for like a Fleming's, if you're looking for a cheesecake factory, even the Cheesecake Factory, there's no Cheesecake Factory here in the high desert, okay? So you have to go down to Rancho if you want to go to Fleming's, or if you want to go to Luna's Mexican restaurant. You have to travel down to Rancho Cucamonga to go to any fine dining. There's just no fine dining up here in the high desert. So if that's something that's really important to you and your family, you like to go out, have fine dining, or if it's not that important and you don't mind going 45 minutes down the hill to go to Fleming's or go to Cheesecake Factory, just go to any of those fine dining establishments. That should avoid the high desert if that's what your lifestyle, that's what you like for in your lifestyle. If you like to have fine dining. So major jobs that are in the area, okay, in the high desert. So I made a list of employers that are out here in the high desert. I'm gonna look down because it's quite a bit of a list, okay? So this is the list. I'm gonna start with number one. Southern California Logistics Airport. Okay, so that's one of the higher paying jobs here in the high desert. Okay, Victor Valley College. Um, there's also city jobs. So San Bernardino city jobs. So if you go on the city website, you can see if you can apply for a job on their website. Okay, Victorville Motors. So a couple of car dealerships up here, but there's not a lot of them, but there's a Toyota, I know there's a Chevy, and I think the Toyota sells Mazdas, but there's a Mazda dealer as well. Been out to the Mazda dealer. They don't have that much to pick from, but they do have inventory. Okay, so Victorville Motors, okay, Victorville School District, okay, so you can come and work for the school district if that's what you're looking for. Okay, there's also Desert Medical Groups, so I guess there's different medical groups that are available. So if you're in that type of field, there's also St. Mary's Medical Group. There's Kaiser, and also there's a lot of truck driving or transport. There's a lot of transport logistics up here. Okay, and also this is the big news as well, that Amazon is building a big warehouse here in Victorville, California. Okay, I'll try to make a video on that. I'll go so you guys know exactly where it's located. But I'm like, okay, that's a big one. Um, that Amazon's going to be coming into the area. That's going to be providing a lot of jobs. I know working in Amazon, I've been seeing the reviews. There's a lot of ups and downs of working with Amazon, but that's a really good company that's going to be opening up here in Victorville, okay? And there's also a lot of retail jobs, okay? There's a lot of store jobs, okay? So I just thought that I would give you a little list of employers up here in the high desert. Of course, I didn't mention all of them, but so just so you can get an idea. Hey, if it's your first time on this channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living up in the high desert of California, then don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to tap on the bell so you get notified every time we put out a new. So, fact number 7. So, what is the high desert really called, or what do they know it by up here? Okay, so you're going to hear a lot of things like well, the high desert of California, Victorville, California, Victor Valley. Okay, Victor Valley. Um, hold on. Up the hill. You're going to also be hearing a lot of people call it, oh, you're going to go up the hill to the high desert or Victorville. So it's known by a couple of names. Um, when I first moved here, I didn't know that it was called the high desert in California. I just I just knew of the area as Victorville, California. So now that when I moved up here to the high desert, and I was hearing everybody say, "Oh, this is the high desert." Okay, it's kind of confusing. Oh no, yeah, Victor Valley. That's another one. I was like, okay, so Victor Valley, okay, Victorville? And they're like, no, Victor Valley. Okay. So I that's why I wanted to kind of clarify it. And this is something that it took me a little bit to get used to when I first moved up here. That I didn't know it was called the high desert of California. Okay, or up the hill. I never knew that. So until I moved up here, then I started realizing that that's what people call this certain areas up here in the high desert of California. So I thought that that was something that you should really know, okay? So if you don't like the cold weather, like if you don't like being cold, then you need to avoid the high desert of California, okay? It gets so cold, but it's a cold that you can feel in your bones. I don't know, call me crazy. My daughter always tells me, Mom, you're over exaggerating. That's not true. And it is true. I don't know if it's because I'm older or what it is, but if you don't really like the cold weather, and it lasts a couple of months up here, where it's like 23 degrees, 30 degrees. It gets really cold, okay? Now, I need to remind you, it does snow up here, okay? So that's another thing. If you don't like driving in the snow, this last year we had snow for one day. It wasn't a big deal. I think, yeah, 1 or 2 days. It was 2 days. One day I was home. The day before it had snowed too, and I was driving home from work. It wasn't a big deal. I was still able to drive. I didn't feel not safe or anything like that. It wasn't like a big snowstorm. Okay, but the day later, the one day later, it was just really cold, and then the whole car was covered in snow. Okay, okay, so if you don't like the cold or being cold, you're not gonna like the high desert, and you should avoid moving up to the high desert if you do so not. Number 9, we're going to be discussing the housing market. Okay, so the housing market is still kind of crazy. It's still up there. It's still moving up in pricing. Okay, and also we're seeing the market kind of slow down or shift a little bit, because we're seeing properties on the market a lot longer if they're not priced correctly. So now buyers or agents, or buyers are just looking out and seeing if that they feel the property is overpriced, they are not submitting offers. But guess what? If the property is priced right and it's in good condition and it's in a good desirable area, trust me, you're gonna still see multiple offers. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of multiple offers for anything under 350, and if we're seeing a lot of multiple offers on that, and for anything that's higher than 400 or 450, we're seeing those houses stay on the market just a little longer than the more comfortable, um, less price properties. Okay, so I wanted just to come on here. So I think this is fact number 9, is that the housing market is still going, and we're just seeing a little bit of a shift. So if you're looking into moving up to the high desert and you're in that 350 and under, trust me, we could still find that home for you if you just let us guide you the right way. Okay, trust me, if you let us help you, we can get you to the end point. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little story about, he was a client of mine that's here on YouTube. He actually contacted us, and he was having a problem of not being able to get his offers accepted, and he was not being guided the correct way. When I asked him for a couple of things to guide him the right way, uh, you know, I got a little pushback, but then in the end, they did know that I was trying to guide them the right way, and guide them in a way where we can be ready. So if there was a property that they did like, they're ready to submit offers and move forward with the offer. Okay, so we did write, I think, about 3 to 4 offers, and we did get him an offer accepted. And guess what? He actually closed on his house today. So congratulations on that. I was so happy to be a part of that journey with him, just to see that he wasn't able to move forward or make his dream a reality. And then in the end, he was open to letting us help him and guide him. And now he got his keys today to his first home. And I'm just so happy and blessed that I was able to help him with that. That you have no idea. This is why I'm in real estate, and I love doing what I do, because I get to help families like him that they were having a hard time getting an offer accepted, being able to get that home. And guess what? Now he has his keys to his home, and I am super happy and blessed that I was a part of that. Okay, so uh, fact number 9 is the housing market is still going, and it's still really good here in the right. So number 10, finally to the last one. So number 10 was something that I felt that you really need to know. Okay, so yeah, we have supermarkets up here in the high desert, of course. Um, we have um, we have Stater Brothers, we have Vaughn's, we have a John's, we have Albertsons, we have a Vallarta, we have El Super. Okay, oh, we have Winco's, we have Aldi. Okay, so those are some of the supermarkets that we have in the high desert. Oh, and Walmart, of course, and there's a super Target in Apple Valley as well. So we do have a lot of supermarkets, but guess what we don't have? Okay, so that's why I thought this was so important, that it needed to be number 10. We do not have a Trader Joe's. We do not have a Trader Joe's up here in the high desert. Okay, and that's something that's been a little hard for me, but I've adjusted, of course. But we do not have a Sprouts, and there's no Whole Foods market up in the high desert as well. Okay, and I thought that was something that you really needed to know, and that's why I put it in this video so that you could know that if you cannot be without those supermarkets, the Trader Joe's, the Sprouts, and the Whole Foods, sorry, then maybe you do need to avoid the high desert, okay? So I hope that all of this information is something that's going to help you make a better decision when you're getting ready to make your move up to the high desert.